I don't think he can. Happy Halloween. Can you guys hear me now? Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. I am garbage. The poll should still be at the top. It should still be at the top. So, okay, now you guys can hear me. So, I am garbage. Easiest costume I've ever put together. I do love a good ghost costume though. Witch, I do have like witch stuff right on the side. So I'm going to end the poll. You guys were split witch and garbage. You guys know me so well. So I showed Gregopedia and he goes, "Oh, you're hot garbage." I go, "I am hot garbage." So, and you have to forgive. I've got some cupping bruises on me. So I thought it went with my garbagey costume. So happy Halloween all. So I have to apologize. We were not ready to do the murder mystery. We all had a bunch of things that jumped in the way. My son, who is a germ magnet, once again got sick. He got an abscess and then he got some kind of virus on top of it. So we were in the A&E emergency visit yesterday, and this morning I woke up with a sore throat. We have nationals. I have a huge party that I'm doing tomorrow night in person, and then we have nationals on Saturday, and we have states again on Sunday, another state competition. So I gotta suck it up, Buttercup, and not overdo it today. But I am going to do a live for you guys. So what I would like to do is we're going to talk a little bit about this hot garbage situation. So, yeah, Joe Biden called us hot garbage. Honestly, I think that this is not going to fare well for him. I think it's going to create some issues for him politically, even though his political career is basically over. But I do think it's going to cause some problems for him. So let's do this. You guys can ask me any pop culture questions you want. Gisela, I'm proud to be garbage too. So you can ask me any political, hot topic, celebrity questions in bold in the chat. You want your own private reading? Those are going to be in super chats. I pinned that to the top of the screen. And we got Nightbot running things here. So hopefully Nightbot's going to be popping in some comments. Happy Halloween, Gregopedia.
Happy Halloween.
Gregopedia is dressed up like himself. What?
Hot garbage or?
Who, me? Yeah. We already talked about it.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Well, you might did call us white trash one time.
Bayesian. Bayesian trash. Archangel, how is your channel doing, my dear? Everybody, Archangel is another psychic tarot reader here on the interwebs. So you can all say hello. Debbie Schoen is as well. So, all right. So let's see. Let's see what this is going to do for Joe Biden. So we're going to swap these out. Going to make it nice and big. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you guys can still hear me. Can you still hear me? Thumb up if you can still hear me, all 23 of you. Woo-hoo. So, promise to you guys, we are going to do the murder mystery. We just need to work out a few things that's really fun for you guys. That was one of the things we were trying to do, is make it really, really fun for you guys. And we hit a couple of sticking points. So we're going to work those sticking points out, and we are going to do one for you real soon. Real soon. So let's go. How is Joe Biden going to fare after this whole hot garbage thing? You're using Choose Your Own Adventure Tarot deck. I can drop a link for that if anybody wants it. And let's see, how's this going to fare? The Knight of Pentacles. Well, bye-bye. There goes the library. The Four of Pentacles, uncontrolled. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. 4 of Wands in reverse. Gee, chillikers. 6 of Pentacles up top. I think he is begging for forgiveness right now. I think we've got a guy who is asking for forgiveness at the moment. I've got my citrus lemon. This is actually called a cold buster at Starbucks.
What is medicine ball?
It's interchangeably called medicine ball or cold buster. So Joe Biden, he's got to come to terms with the fact that this party has dismissed him. He's really dismissed. There's really no hanging out there. He's got to stop trying to help. Stop helping.
You could have helped. You've done so much.
You've done so much more, is right, Greg. So, begging for help, really. So I was just trying to help a girl out, help the damsel in distress, help the broad. I bet you he has said broad. That's probably a Joe Biden thing. That broad over there.
I wanted to help that brown broad.
Oh, you said brown broad. Wow.
Well, I was channeling a certain colleague of mine from years ago.
Cartwright.
Don't say his name.
Nobody knows that.
You don't know that.
Cartwright, party of four. Hey, Trevor. Oh, wait. I have to pop back on the screen. I'm garbage.
He lives.
Look, I'm fancy hot garbage.
Did you realize he literally dodged a bullet today?
Yes, I talked to him about dodging bullets. And Drusilla said, zombie, Trevor has risen. We will get there, guys. So Joe Biden really is begging them to forgive him. How does he see himself? He sees himself as the Knight of Wands. He knows that he messed up. He banged this up for sure. And now I'm like half on the screen because I'm all the way over here. Maybe I could I wonder if I could stand in the middle of the desk and still. Oh, I think I can do this. And there's my cupping wounds. They're not wounds, they're just bruises. But yes, I had cupping when I was at physical therapy yesterday. Hopefully they will give me cupping again on Friday when I go back. So Elizabeth Higgins, good morning in the middle of the morning, or good night. I don't know if you're getting up or going down. So they're going to frame this as that poor old man is just trying to help. They're going to frame that. They're not going to throw him totally under the bus. Privately, he's getting thrown under the bus. Publicly, he is not getting thrown under the bus. They're going to be like, oh, poor Joe. Poor Joe. Poor Joe. This 63-inch desk is huge.
You're going to say something else.
Not dead. No. NT. Tentacles.
Big difference.
So there, Joe Biden not looking so good. Now, how about where is Trumpkin on the garbage truck? How is Trump's garbage truck appearance going to, how is it going to affect him? How is his garbage truck appearance going to affect this election?
Is this down to the garbage truck pulling up the Empire State Building?
No, all I can think about is the Cramps, the song Garbage Man, because I'm a garbage man. Star Empress, he's letting people know that he's taking care of them. 9 of Wands, High Priestess. This is good stuff, but I'm still getting the Lovers in reverse for the future. I am very, very worried about high outer limits. Boo. I am very worried about how these votes are going to shake out. Now, I haven't done early voting. I haven't done it. I know who I'm voting for. I just haven't done early voting yet because I don't know how I feel about the early voting. I don't know if it gives people time to fake votes, or I don't know what it does. So I'm going to vote on election day you know, just like I wouldn't want to celebrate Christmas a few days before. I'm going to vote on election day. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. So
You're turning this into a college girl's birthday weekend.
I'm sorry. What was that?
It's like a college girl's birthday. It's my birthday month.
It's my birthday month. Yeah, I don't want a birthday month. I want, yeah, I don't want election month. So hang on, guys. Hang on. My chat is going wild. So hi, Tammy. Oh, Tammy loves my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're glad to have you here. We have a lot of fun. We got a lot of fun people in the comments. Sprout's awesome. Elizabeth Higgins. We got Debbie Schoen, who's a good friend of mine. Super people in here. Glad to have you on board, Tammy Pride. So, and Burnt Butterfly, Sally. Like these are a lot of people here have been with me since the beginning. So I closed out the poll because you guys pretty much got it. I was either going to be a witch or garbage, and I'm garbage. So this makes me very concerned. This lovers in reverse. Sprout, I will always shout you out. Shout out for Sprout. So how he sees himself is 4 of Cups in reverse. So the foundation is there, but the emotional foundation is very shaky. We still have to, you know, and there was something very interesting. You know, I watch both sides. I watch the news on both sides. And there was this, well, he's rattling everyone's emotions and getting them riled up. You know, Trump is getting them riled up and trying to evoke an emotional response. But then we have Kamala Harris yelling at everyone like Joe Biden. The yelling is not working. The Tower. Others see him as the end of the world, to quote Olgra from the Dark Crystal. If you know, you know. And hopes and fears. The hope is that they can hide him behind the scene. And the ultimate outcome is we have learning from this process. So I think we're going to see a little repeat of the last time, guys. So I don't want you to be freaked out. I've already told you in my other videos that I do think that we're going to have some disruptions, a little bit of chaos for like 3 months. I think it's going to be kind of crazy. New Beginnings Tarot, welcome. I'm going to have to follow you, sweetie. Yeah, Alicia encouraged me to start my channel. So, hi, little Lisa. Thank you. Yeah, so Alicia is awesome. I consider her a good friend. We differ on some subjects, which is awesome. And, you know, we still get along. We're like the UN, but in a good way. All right. So throw me some questions, guys. This is all about you. This is Halloween tricks and treats. Oh, well, you know what? Why don't we tell we'll tell some ghost stories. Let me tell some ghost stories. So I got some ghost stories for you. So, all right. Ooh, I don't want you to see the mess that's on that side. So we'll get it nice and centered here. So, what's a good ghost story, Greg? Like one of our real ghost stories.
The time we talked to Mr. Trout.
Okay. So there are friends, JT and Sandy, are paranormal investigators, and they do paranormal investigation with New Jersey Paranormal, isn't that it?
Paranormal, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Investigators, maybe? Is there?
Hang on, I want to make sure I get the right name.
Plug them correct. They're the People's Front of Judea, not the Judean People's Front.
New Jersey Paranormal Investigations. Copy. I'm going to drop a link. I'm dropping a link. So JT and Sandy are very good friends of ours. We adore them. They are the spookiest folks in the world. And we went to an investigation. They have public investigations where the organization provides all the paranormal equipment that you can investigate a particular location. And you, I'm going to screen share too. Are you guys ready? Hang on, let me screen share. This is fun. You guys can actually see where we were. So there we go. We'll swap these. Whoops. How do I make that bigger? That needs to be made bigger.
She said.
I can't make it any bigger. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is the Strauss Mansion. And it's this gorgeous mansion. It was built in 1881, Greg. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I think it was built in 1881. And you can see the interior. That's the stairway. That's Mr. Strauss. This is in a town called Atlantic Highlands, which is not far from us, and New Jersey. And Mr. Strauss was a Jewish proprietor. He was not allowed to build a house down on the main street, so he had to build all the way up at the hill, at the top of the hill. Lucky spot because the area does flood. The house is amazing. Inlaid floors, gorgeous inlaid floors. And that is original fireplaces. These little dogs, they put sensors in them for the spirits to touch. That's the kitchen. The floor is not in good shape, so they did not want us in the kitchen. This was in the basement. This was a string of lights that they have the spirits light them up. They ask them to. The dots that you see in the background is a laser grid. So we actually started up in the Mr. Strauss's bedroom, and somebody tried to break into the house. This is a Dutch door, and you can see here. This is the bay out here. So Mr. Strauss, this is looking out the front door. It's really, really cool. So there's the mezuzah. That's the 10 Commandments for my non-Jewish friends. That is the basement. More of the basement. More of the basement. The basement wasn't as scary as you would think. Then again, we're looking out the side door, and this is the side door, and we're looking out at the bay again, and that's the house. It's an amazing house. So all the way up here in the tower, there's like a little room that you can go in and you can climb up there. And then Mr. Strauss's bedroom is right here where this bump out is. The master. Pictures of somebody. I skipped past them. So we'll just leave it on that. So we decided to go to one of these events, and I brought my pendulum. This very pendulum. And oh no, that's not true.
No,
I brought the crystal one. I'm just full of lies today. So we'll stop sharing that. So we went, and Sandy does not purport to be a medium, but she does. She's like a ghost magnet, and ghosts just like come right to her, and they do all kinds of stuff. So Mr. Strauss's room is lined with bookshelves, and they put the string of lights up there. And they told us from previous investigations, there was one particular book about opera that he was very keen on, and he would light up the lights right there. So we went in there, and I was using the pendulum, just getting some yes and no answers. And we had everything lighting up. Every question we asked was being answered. You give, when you do these kinds of investigations with the lights, what you do is you ask questions that you know the answer to. You do like tester questions, like fail-safe questions. So you can kind of get good answers. Now, the book that he was very keen on is a book about opera. So what was the opera? It was a certain page that...
It was the African. It was the opera.
The African was the opera, and he was very keen on that. So he would like to turn the pages to that. And I believe they said they left the book out, and it was on a number of occasions turned to that page.
They also moved the book every time, and he always lights up the same light for the book.
Yes, on the bookshelf, they had moved the book around. He always lights up just the one light on the string. So we were starting to not get some answers. So we said, are you tired? You know, Mr. Strauss, do you want us to take leave? And he said, yes. So we said, where should we go? Should we go up to the tower? And he said, yes. So we went up to the tower, and there was allegedly a child spirit in there, or a childlike spirit in there. So that spirit was a little bit shyer. So we said, well, where should we go? Should we go to the basement? And it just kept giving us this affirmative answer for the basement. So we went downstairs into the kitchen, and Greg and I kind of stopped. And when we had first gotten there, there was a single gentleman with like Jimmy Buffett, like a Hawaiian shirt on. And we're like,
yeah, he was here for business. He's like, I got nothing to do. So he saw this. He's like, oh, I'll try this.
Yeah, he had nothing to do that night. So he just decided he was going to do this ghost adventure by himself. So we'd introduce ourselves because, you know, like I'm a line talker. So we're standing in the kitchen, Greg and I, and this guy comes up from the basement. He goes, your name's Anna, right? And I go, yeah. And he goes, the obelisk just said your name downstairs. So an obelisk is a box that will generate words, presumably from the spirits that are communicating. So
based upon electromagnetic signatures.
Yes, electromagnetic signatures. So we go down into the basement, and there's a bunch of people down there. They're really intently, studying what's going on and putting out really good questions. And so I took my pendulum and stuck it, and I had jeans on. I just put it in my front pocket. And so we're just hanging out, you know, doing whatever and listening. And then the next thing I know is it said my name again. It said Anna again. And then it said Elizabeth, which is my middle name. And then it said front pocket twice.
You were so freaked out, though. You didn't even do it. I'm not doing it.
No, I'm not saying anything. I didn't want to interrupt anybody. So when they wrapped up the investigation, and everybody was like, oh, okay. Because, like, you don't want people yelling during these investigations. So they were like, does anybody have any questions? And I was like, well, I'm Anna Elizabeth, and I'm a psychic, and I have my pendulum in my front pocket. Everyone was like, what? So we started doing a little bit of pendulum work down there, and it was pretty wild. It was a neat little ghost story. Sandy and Jonathan go to a lot of different locations in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut. They've been to the Conjuring House. They've slept over at the Conjuring House.
Gettysburg.
They've been to Gettysburg a bunch. I'm like terrified to go to Gettysburg, but yeah, it's pretty neat. So one of the things Greg and I want to do, we can get our PhD in parapsychology online, and we may well do that. We might wind up doing that. You never know, because then we would be Dr. How does it go?
I'd be the Reverend Doctor.
Greg would be the Reverend Dr. Miller, and I would be Dr. Miller. So Dr. Annabelle. So there we go, kids. So that's ghost story number 1. Okay, so Elizabeth Higgins. I laughed at the press secretary trying to spin what Sleepy Joe said about the Trump supporters. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't even see Karine Jean-Pierre's excuse du jour for that. Let's see how that's going to work out for her. We'll bring up some cards. We'll just see. How's that? We'll do that. We'll do that. Tammy, I see your question. We're going to have to bust out that big deck energy too. So, you know what that means? You all get a song. We're going to get a song. Hi, Amanda. Jean-Pierre, she cannot wait until this job is over. 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords. I'm sorry I'm laughing so hard, but this, I'm just going to switch the screen. Look, 2 of Pentacles, like, I cannot wait to quit this job. 6 of Swords to save my ass. The Devil, oh, she's worried that she's stuck with them. In the past, she's been doing everything she can, but right now, it's all she can do to maintain her composure. And over here, she's not going to have a lot to say about this after. She's not going to defend her position. She's just going to kind of let it roll over. So that is wiggity, wiggity wild. So Tammy, all right. So I'm going to need a little help. So let's... That's Alicia's video, the big deck energy. Big deck energy. So Tammy lives in Oklahoma. And they have a cattle ranch. Love cattle.
They're delicious.
They are delicious. So your weather has been so dry. We've been dry here too. So it's Diwali right now as well. And we have a very, very large Indian community around here. Diwali is a festival of lights. There's a lot of fireworks that go off during it. And those amazing sand portraits that they do. Really wild. So, Amanda, careful driving, sweetie. Careful driving. Julie Ann, your TV switched itself on. That's weird. That's weird. So, let's see what's going on with the weather. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Holy moly. You got all this big deck energy. This is Alicia's True Crime and Conspiracy deck. And also, I'm just getting back to the comments, guys. Also, the expansion pack. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, this is in our past. What we need to go back and grab onto. Oh, yeah. So, I am going to tell you, Tammy. So, what I've studied. So I studied Russian history, pre and post-revolutionary Russian history. Also know quite a bit about the Soviet years. One of the things that happened, one of my Russian history professors told us of this really bizarre thing when he was there studying in the 70s. They had a crop failure, and the Soviet government's response was to slaughter all of the cattle. Probably not the best idea. Then they had some food shortages, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Let's look at this. I'm going to put our big deck energy back in there. And I am going to pull out the Magicians, Martyrs, and Madmen deck. Are things being set up? So if you know who gets elected, they'll gum up the works. Boom. 5 of Wands working very hard to take away all of the power. Actually, we're going to move up Alicia's deck just so you guys can see this a little bit better. We'll just wiggle this up. Wiggle it just a little bit. There you go, guys. So we got the 5 of Wands, the Magician in reverse. So we're working together and frantically so that we can take the power away from the musician. The the Magician. The Eight of Swords. Seven of Pentacles. Interesting that we've got a Harvest on there in reverse. Trying to destroy the harvest. 40 people in here. Happy Halloween. If you're just getting here, my costume is garbage. The hottest rage.
Not my
In-
garbage.
Huh?
Not my garbage.
Not my garbage. Oh, that's another ghost story. I'll tell you a ghost story about not my garbage.
Put your name on it.
Huh?
Put your name on it.
That's your name on it. So we're telling ghost stories and we are reading cards on pop culture. And for you guys, if you guys want a reading, just do super chat, put it in there. I'll be able to see it best. If you want just pop culture, just put capital letters. Okay. So dominant energy on this, the Nine of Swords. They are trying to make the Nine of Swords anxiety permanent in the United States. The powers that be are trying to make it permanent and make everyone frightened and freak up. Amanda wants to know if you're dressing up like a garbage man.
Me?
You do have coveralls.
I do, but I'm not wearing them.
He's not wearing them. He's painting. He's wearing his apron. So that's what we're getting. That is what we're getting. So to answer your question, Tammy, I think there's something going on. I think there's something happening there. So let's put those away. What do we do? What do we do to fix that? What do we do to fix that? The Hermit, stay together. Stay together. Don't drift off. Seven of Swords. Woo! This is a hot reading. Hot reading. So, oh, Samantha, try and listen. That's okay, sweetie pie. I know you're here all the time. So stay together to make change and cut off the head. So one of the things, and this is for my tarot students, when you read with novelty decks like this one, like the Magicians, Madmen, and Martyrs, the cards take on a different meaning somewhat when they have a theme to them. So this Queen of Swords in the traditional tarot is very decisive and smart and calculating and clearly communicates things, really makes her point known. When Lizzie Borden is the picture on the card, what this is, if you know a little bit about Lizzie Borden, so there's a little rhyme. It happened here in Massachusetts. Lizzie Borden had an axe. She gave her father 40. She gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw the job was done, she gave her father 41. So both parents were murdered in the house with an axe. It was an axe murder. Lizzie and her sister were considered prime suspects. Lizzie was acquitted, but really was kind of ostracized by the community. They were having their inheritance dispersed in a different fashion, a fashion that was welcome for her and her sister. Let me just fix my outfit. So it was very interesting that the parents, it was actually the father and the stepmother, that they wound up El Muerto, and Lizzie and her sister inherited all of the estate because the things that he needed to do had not been done. So this is about taking control of the powers that be, taking control of the individuals that are in charge of everything, but doing it in an underhanded fashion. This Seven of Swords says that as well, but it also says that they're not going to be very good at it. They're going to be very obtuse about it. We're going to see those things happen. And here, the Three of Cups, we're not going to be celebrating. But the Queen of Cups is that we will take care of our own and we're all going to manage through this. So it is taking care of ourselves, not panicking, not falling into the emotional maelstrom that's going to happen if there is a crop failure, if there is food shortage, those kinds of things. We need to rally together and take care of each other. That is what it's going to be. So, so there's our yellow brick road. Everybody keep calm, smile on, hit up those canned foods. So let me see. Good question. Elizabeth Higgins. I have lived in a number of houses that were very active. I now own a home that has been very settled. Where'd that card go? It disappeared. Very settled, except for your mom, who passed 5 years ago. I hear her in the kitchen making coffee. My grandmother, I often see my grandmother out of the corner of my eye with her hand on my sink, watching me cook. And it's, which makes sense because she taught me how to cook. So she's judging what I'm doing. Every Thanksgiving is an homage to my grandmother. She's pretty amazing at it. So I'm going to go back to our live comments. So, who else do we want to talk about? What other celebrity? Oh, thanks, Elizabeth Higgins. Yeah, hit the like. We got 29 likes right now. So, is Raven outside or is she in the kitchen?
In the kitchen.
Huh. Raven's in the kitchen.
Probably a cat out there.
So yes, we have cats all over the place here. We've got a nice clouder of ferals hanging out. The neighbors feed them. I don't, because I'm not allowed to. Greg PD doesn't let me feed the cats.
They're an invasive species.
Doesn't matter. They're already here and they're sleeping on our porch. And it's gonna be cold. So
Well, and the chicken hawk can get them.
It's not funny, the chicken hawks.
I'm not.
Yeah, Zephyr says do not feed wild feral animals.
What's that?
Zephyr, our neighbors feed them.
Yeah.
So they're old farm people. So not old farm people, but they're family.
Farming family.
They're farming family. So I think that the feral cats here keep the vermin population down. I'm happy to have them eat that. So eat the mice. Eat the mice. So they were barn cats at one time. They're descended from barn cats. They're wild looking cats too. They have really, really snipey faces. Like we thought that they were foxes at one point. They did have a litter in our shed though. So there was the ones that are now having kittens are from our shed. So I think that's why they kind of hang out. So it's like the grandkids are here now. Very cute.
Keeping you up at night.
So Greg is the Invisible Man. That's your costume, Invisible Man. Yes, they will. They will survive just fine. Raven won't. She chased one up a tree the other day. So, all right. Hi, Raven. Raven's here. Just like, whatever. Whatever. All right. I've been standing for a bit. We're going to go down a little bit. We're going to take a load off and get in the chair. Watch this. This might be easier. So this electric desk is the greatest thing ever, guys. Stephanie, beautiful. Beautiful question.
Malibu?
Huh?
Ballerina?
No. She's got a good question. If you had a monitor over there, you would know what was going on, Greg. I said if you had a monitor, you would know what was going on. All right, boys and girls. Intentions and vibes of each party. So we've got we'll start with the Trump family because the Trump family is really putting out a family vibe. Thank you, Zephyr. They're really putting out a family vibe. So what is the true intention of the Trump party? 5 of Wands, collaborative work, creative work, moving into the future. moving into the future. Knight of Pentacles, wealth, building of wealth, turning a vocation, a learning process into a legacy. In the past, Knight of Cups, we're not going to talk about the emotions anymore. So, emotions for them are, and we're talking about the Trump team here, emotions for them are more like the whipped cream on a cup of coffee or on some kind of dessert. It's extra, the emotions. But now is time to roll up sleeves and get to work. And I do think that this is true intent. Under the surface, 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is balance. Underneath the surface, if we're talking about imbalance, what we're talking about is competition. Competition is healthy for the economy. It's something that will push forward. It will make interesting things. So up top, Ace of Pentacles, the main concern of the Trump party, and I'm going to call it the Trump party. The main concern about them is the lack of money. It's balancing the book. It's creating a better financial situation for everyone. Up ahead, what is the vision for the future? 4 of Cups. Let's stop talking about where we want to go and craft the plan for how we get there. So that rings true with what we're seeing. Irene, I see your question. Just sit tight. I'm going to get to you in a minute. Remember, guys, if you want personal questions, I would love a super chat from you. Make my month great. If you want pop culture, just put it in caps. All right. So let's see the intention of the Harris party. Temperance. That is, excuse me. Amanda, I see your question too. I caught my son's cold. That's why I'm coughing like this. So temperance, to tip the scale. Right now, this is the current energy. They are trying to tip that scale. They want to move the votes over. Again, like I have an undecided voter in my house right now, and there's not a lot of motivating information that's coming out. What crosses them? 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles is lack of planning. So I tell my tarot students this all the time. Ace, 2, and 3 are all at the top of the, oh, did I lose my hand? No. All at the top of the tree of life. And they are planning and coming together, collaborating to get to a solution. We don't have solutions. This is what's stopping. That the policies need to not be, this is what we want to accomplish. They need to be, this is how we're going to accomplish it. So, and I've said this before on some of my other lives, I do think it's very interesting that Trump is talking about a return to the Gilded Age financials of the United States, the economics. I think it's very interesting that he wants to return to that because we were pretty flush then and we're not now. So not having an idea of what we're going to do, taxing the 1% is not really lighting anybody's fuse here. It just doesn't seem like that's going to make a difference. Under the surface, 6 of Cups, they're trying to bring back nostalgia. They want people to feel. Again, I want you guys to know I'm very, very concerned about that word activate. When we hear that word activate, I'm very concerned about it. It is not a good word. There's something that's happening with that word. So I'm just shuffling again to freshen up the energy on this. No tricks, no treats. So behind it, Page of Pentacles. This is redesigning the job. Remember that. Ace, we see the job listing. We send our resume in. Page, we are first day on the job, we're hired. This is changing the job description. We're going to change that job description, tear down what's happening, and do something different, radical. Up top, the moon, and it is Rasputin. Grigory Rasputin. Not a nice guy. In reverse. So the moon in reverse. One of the things that Kamala said was that she uses her instinct. That was the polling. Her instinct was the polling. I think having an instinct about a national election is probably not a good plan. This is throwing out that instinct and looking at hard data. We're going to pull another card for that up here. So 2 of Swords. Yeah, use your brain on this one. Don't use your psychic ability. And then we get 7 of Swords. They're going to see things that are going to be coming out against them. Now, is that nefarious work against them? Possibly. I mean, nefarious work can be anything from a negative campaign ad to, actually tinkering with votes and things like that. But we're going to see some negativity. What is in the immediate future with their intentions and vibes? The Knight of Cups. We're still going to be going with that. We love you. We're going to take care of you and pull you into the bosom of the Democratic Party because we're saving democracy. So that's what I think is going on. I think there's a bit of panic at this point on the Harris side. I don't think that Joe helped with his garbage statement. Hence my costume. I do not think that was a good thing. So, all right, let's see. Yes. I agree with that. Let them ponies run. Thank you. This is like the easiest costume I've ever done. So last night, Angus has been sick for the last few days. He's been out of school, but he desperately wanted to go back today because they had a field trip to go recruit some of the little kids to the drums and percussion group that we have for the winter season. And so he was like, I need a costume. So his father sent him a jailbird costume, and he basically is in stripes today. So, but he said to me last night at like 8:30, I'm like dragging myself through the muck. And he was like, I need a costume. I was like, you're going to have to suck it up, boy. Like, I am not putting you in a costume at this hour. We have so many costumes in our house that I was like, find something here. Like, we just have a ton of costumes. So, okay, we're going to pull up Irene's question.
Which I don't think you use enough of.
Huh?
Which I don't think you use enough of in your show.
What's that?
Costumes.
Oh, well, I was going to do like a whole series on the Claires, and I was going to dress up like all the Claires. Yeah, like clairvoyant, clairaudient. I was going to get like giant ears for clairvoyant. Claire? It's a fat girl's name.
It's a family name. It's a fat girl's name.
It's a family name. We have all these Welsh people in here. I love that.
Did we spell everything in a W?
No. Oh my God. Oh, I'm cracking up, Zephyr. Good, I'm glad. So, will your granddaughter be able to take dual credit courses this coming summer of 2025 after passing the TSI reading and TSI math and algebra, which is required first? Thank you. So let's do this. Again, if you guys want personal questions, I respectfully request super chats. And if you want pop culture questions, just make them all in bold and I will answer them. Pop culture is yell it at me. I'm hard of hearing in one ear. Trevor's got a hearing aid sponsor now. Mm-hmm. And it's an American company. Mm-hmm. I want to try it, I think. Mm-hmm. What?
Yes. What?
Foxy!
Yes. What?
Foxy done.
What?
Foxy Gregopedia says, hi. Foxy, you like my costume? I'm garbage. So, will your granddaughter So, no, I don't think she's going to be able to take them this summer. But I think it's going to be because the institution is going to offer something different. I think they are going to change the requirements for it. So once those requirements are changed, then she'll be able to do it. So not this summer, unfortunately. It looks like they're going to be making some changes there. But it's going to be policy, not because of her, not because of her testing. So I wouldn't be worried about that. Will they do something more novel and unique? You know what? That they were losing money on the dual credit courses. They were losing money on it. So that's why they're making this change. Here, make it a little easier for you to see this. So the students are not going to be really thrilled about it, but unfortunately, that's where they're going with this one. So, you know, we only see a little bit of pentacles here, and it's just they've got to. Sprout, I'm sorry. So we've got 6 of Pentacles in reverse, the Sun in reverse, 6 of Wands, 5 of Wands, Knight of Cups in reverse. Up top, I've got 2 of Wands, and on the bottom, I have the 3 of Swords in reverse. So basically, I just think that the school's going to be taking away that feature so that they can make some more money. Just unfortunate. But it'll all work out in the end. They'll reinstate some kind of process like that, but it's not going to be done the same way. You're going to still wind up paying for all of the courses. You don't get a discount for doing it, but they're just redesigning it. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So Amanda, my darling, Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, recently gave political opinions during a recent channeling. Was this message really from Bashar? Or was Daryl sprinkling in his own bias? You know, somebody just asked me this question about tarot readers too. And you know, the interesting thing is that we all read just like you would read literature with your own particular biases intact. So readers will do this too with tarot. Absolutely. Sometimes it's very hard to get rid of your bias. It's one of the reasons I don't read for myself, because I always second guess myself. I'm like, that can't be right. That's not happening. So, you know, it's important to sometimes get a neutral person to do a reading for you, or to do a reading on a subject. I really work very, very hard to try and be as unbiased as possible. I try and read everybody, but sometimes I'm just so disgusted. I look at my bank account and I'm like, this may as well happen. so all right, Daryl Anka, let's see. Was he really channeling Bashar? Past, present, future. Present. So I do think in the past that there was some scaffolding, I will say, of personal investment. And that is something that happens when you initially start reading psychically, is you know, you add a little bit of yourself in there, you kind of take that direction and then go from there. I think in the present, he is very convicted in his personal beliefs. And I think that it's coming through more strongly, and perhaps he's not listening to those little voices. I keep getting these readings. Trump's doing great. Trump's doing great. Trump's doing great. But in the end, it's not going to be great. So I do think that there's going to be conflict on that. I'm not going any further beyond January 6th or November 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. I'm not going beyond that because I want to read once we have the the situation out in the open once we know what the discrepancy in voting is, what the discrepancy is in the winner of the election. I want to kind of tap into that. I'm still reading the energies here, but I'm not predicting who's going to win, because as of right now, it is not clear who is going to win. This is not a destined situation, you know. So hang on, Outer Limits. I saw your question. I know who Tommy Robinson is. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say his name on here. I don't know if we get should have put like duct tape on my mouth. What, duct tape on my mouth?
No, nothing.
What?
You do that for when you're sleeping.
Ugh. Greg said I should have duct tape on my face when I'm sleeping. So, Sprout, hang on, I got you there too. So, I'm going to say that, yeah, there is some bias that's in there, but I do think he's trying to not be biased. And I think in the future, we're going to get like an even Steven kind of perspective from him. I'm going to look him up though. I'm curious about this guy now. So, all right, so we're going to take that down and we'll put this one up. We'll go back to the live comments. Spicy Right Wing. What a great name. That's awesome. Yeah, you know, that's the thing. Like, we'll look at the polls. We'll look at the publication of the polls. We'll see what's going on. So let's talk about Tommy Robinson. I'm going to pull up the Pulp Tarot. So I have a ton of English friends as a result of my YouTube channel. I just became friends with a lot of people from the kingdom, which is awesome. Tommy Robinson. He is really out there doing his thing. Oh, Emma, I see you. Hang on. All right, so
you have to sing this in the tune of Mrs. Robinson.
Okay, so 4 of Cups, King of Pentacles, 4 of Cups in the middle with the 6 of Wands in reverse, the King of Pentacles in the undercurrent energy, the 9 of Cups on the top, Page of Swords in that suitcase position, and the 4 of Pentacles in reverse in the future.
Sumka position?
Not suka. I did not
Sumka.
say. I did not say sumka.
I said sumka.
Sumka is more like a. You made me curse really bad.
I didn't make you curse. You did it yourself.
You did.
I did. I did not.
Sumka in Russian is not like a suitcase though. It's kind of like a
satchel.
Like a satchel, like a weekend bag. So, 18 months higher security prison. So what he needs to do in the moment is be as outspoken as he has been. I sound like Kamala Harris.
Yes, you do.
Well, he should be as outspoken as he was and unburdened.
A little too much Annabelle in that.
Unburdened by what has been. I'm wearing the wrong costume today, so I'm sorry. So he should be more outspoken about what is going on in the moment. So I don't know how much of a muzzle they have on him. I am not super conversant with the freedom of speech laws in the United Kingdom, specifically for people that are serving time in the United Kingdom. So I look huge in this garbage bag, but I don't know, it's working. It's working for me. I look huge. I was going to wear my MAGA hat too. Hot garbage. Maybe I should have the MAGA hat on.
Then people definitely think you're white.
I'm pretty white with these lights. I'm not this pale in real life, guys. So here he needs to be less protective of the information that he has. It's almost the psychic image that I get is a water tap being turned on and it's just gushing out. The information is just gushing out, gushing out, gushing out. So is he going to be safe in there? Wheel of Fortune, yes. That 9 of Cups is good. 4 of Swords, it's not a time to be quiet. It's not a time to be tamped down. Another one, Page of Pentacles. Does he have people that are protecting him on the inside? 10 of Pentacles is a big, fat yes. So I'm not even pulling that card out. I'm going to shuffle again. Shuffle again. Every day I'm shuffling. All right. I'm going to set up another poll. How many of you are wearing costumes? Let's do a poll just for some fun. All right, start poll. There, you guys wearing a costume? Jump in there and say yes or no. So, Zephyr's dressed as Zephyr does. So, how does he see himself? He sees himself as the slayer of lies. How do others see him? As pinned down. Others see him as pinned down since he is locked up. Hopes and fears, 10 of Cups. And the outcome is the 7 of Swords. We are going to Elizabeth Higgins. Yes, a layer of cat fur does count. It's the best costume ever. Oh, and Zephyr, girls with guns, pink camo on. Yes, it does. Absolutely. All of these things count as costumes. So I think he's got some buddies on the inside that are keeping an eye on his back. I think he's being taken care of. I think there are more people there that are in favor of what he has been doing than are not. I think we are going to see some truth telling. He is the one who brings out the true stories, and he's going to uncover some of those shady McShadesters. Huh?
He's Neo?
Why? What did I say?
The one.
He is the one. So just to be sure, is he going to survive? Whoop. And these dropped out. We're going with it. Yes, 9 of Cups, survival. That is survival. And then he is going to be continuing to uncover those lies of others. So reading, are the polls accurate? So there's so many polls out there. What we're going to do is Slayer of Lies, Spicy Right Wing. Spicy Right Wing, I think you get the YouTube Handle of the Day award because Spicy Right Wing with 2 little peppers is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. So,
Buffalo?
What?
Is she from Buffalo?
I don't know. We can't ask that. Can't ask where people are.
Buffalo Wing.
All right. So, the polls that the Harris administration or Harris campaign are putting forward, are those accurate? Are they putting they are recklessly polling. It's so the polling that they're doing is in favorable conditions. We are seeing favorable conditions. So they're pulling in the people that they know that are going to be on their side. 7 of Pentacles is they're tossing out things that are not with them. And then down here, it is to make themselves feel better. So
like polling it like UC Berkeley.
Yeah, exactly. UC Berkeley. Feminism class gets out. They're gonna interview all them. Mm. Starbucks Cold Buster. This is the greatest thing ever, guys. You have no idea. Basically, what they do is they steam lemonade, make green tea with it, then put a ton of honey and mint in it. And it's fantastic. And there's some lemon. The lemon and lemonade. Ugh. I do feel better having drunk it. Drunk it? Drank it.
Dunking, having Dunking it.
B-Bear said Anna's dress looks slightly green. It looks like an 80s Sarah Jessica Parker square pegs prom dress.
Not far.
I'm garbage, B-Bear. I'm garbage. I was gonna do like all crepe paper in here. Like I was gonna do hot garbage, but I thought I was gonna look like a flaming dumpster. So I didn't think anybody would get it, and I figured I'd be really annoyed by that. So
Speaking of garbage, tell everybody how you insulted Shirley Manson.
oh, that's a ghost story. So once upon a time, Shirley Manson, who I love from the band Garbage, she was standing right in front of me at an event. It was I don't know. It wasn't the Grammys. It was some awards event, but she's standing right in front of me. And somebody mentioned Garbage, and I was like, "Oh, Shirley Manson with the wall eyes." Like, I said, she looks like a frog. And the guy who owned a drum company that was with me nudged me. It was like, "Dude, she's right there." I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." But she does have the frog eyes. I'm sorry.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful
and graceful.
No, she actually is really pretty, but I was in my bitchy LA face. Oh my god, Zephyr said I should wear my garbage bag to the polls. Absolutely, I may have to do that.
That's when you were being told every day that you were too fat.
What?
That was when you were being told every day that you were too fat. Right?
Well, it wasn't every day, but like I was being told like I was fat, I needed a nose job, I needed implants. Good Lord. It's really awful. So the polls that the Trump team are promoting, are they legit? Empress, 8 of Wands, and then Strength. So I think the Empress means that they're really looking for those soft spots too. But it is coming in fast and furious. So the 8 of Wands is a bit uncontrollable. It's really an uncontrolled, I shouldn't say uncontrollable, but a movement of energy that is steadily streaming. So it's like it's like a speeding monorail. It's moving forward. We're not able to stop it right away. We kind of have to just grab on and run with it. So does that mean that yes, we've got stuff that's coming in that's good? Yes. But the Strength card, let's not get cocky. Let's see what comes up at the end of this. We have to, I think they are very pleased with the polls, and I think everyone's getting very excited about the polls that are positive. Are they entirely accurate? Let's take a look. Are the polls giving us any kind of an idea of what we're getting? Past, present, future. The polls presently are giving us a view, a legitimate view. So if we go on right now and we look at all of the polls, and all of the polls say, yes, things are going in the right direction. Things are going in the direction of candidate A, candidate B. Yes, we can trust that. Are those polls going to reflect what actually happens in the future? This star card is in reverse. I'm telling you, we're hitting a wall, guys. We're going to hit a crazy wall that's half built down in Mexico. So, yeah. So this is wild. So we will have to see. It's going to be exciting. So there we go. Will Keir Starmer get the boot? I'm going to go back to my Magicians and Madmen deck. just give that one a little break. Drusilla, thank you for your contribution. I will get to you in just a minute, my dear. Sit tight. Sit tight. So one of the nice things about having the setup that I have 3 screens here, so I can have my YouTube feed here so I can see your comments in real time. And then I have my StreamYard view. So it gives me just the starred comments that I'm looking at. So if I see a comment or a question that I really like, I'll put a little star on it and then I get like a little feed. So we're going to go back to the live comments just for a second. Oh, Jenny, your trick-or-treaters are already on their way. Have a happy Halloween, dear. All right, Lisa, I see your comment. I'm just going back. I just want to make sure that I have everyone's questions highlighted. And there we go. All right, we're looking good. 3 screens. I'm like Elvis. I am like Elvis. I used to have 4, which was crazy. And then when I was still working my corporate job, I had work here and tarot here. So I had like 3 screens here and 2 screens here. It was pretty chaotic. That's part of the reason why I had to quit that job. It was getting crazy. Oh, Lisa, I saw your comment here, and then I looked over here, and I thought it said, will marshmallows be declared after the elections? We're going to call that marshmallows, though. That's my new thing, marshmallows. And I keep dropping cards. Stop your stuff. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. We're talking about Keir Starmer, Prime Minister Extraordinaire. I am shocked at that man. I am shocked. Will he get the boot? The star. Yes, history is not. Hi, wifey. History is not going to recall him favorably. The 2 of Wands. You know, one of the funniest and saddest things that I ever saw was somebody had the Downing Street. What is it? 10 Downing Street. There was a revolving door. It was after Liz Truss left after like a hot minute. So I think that, yes, there's going to be a step down. What is going to cause that? Let's get some clarification here. So judgment, poor judgment of what he's doing. 6 of Cups. People want to return to sensibility. 5 of Swords. I do think a little unrest. I think people are going to be upset enough to have a little bit of unrest there. I think we will see some craziness. Who's the unrest coming from? Who's the unrest coming from? The 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands. It is going to be the people that will be unrest. I hate to say the citizens of the United Kingdom, but it's going to be the not the new United Kingdom, just the citizens of the United Kingdom are absolutely going to have some things to say. I think things are going to get dicey, and I think they're going to be really unhappy about it. So let's continue with Keir Starmer here. Oh, Elizabeth Higgins. I love common sense. Common sense. Amen. So what's under the surface here? The King of Wands. This is letting us know, and this is Vlad Dracula. This is letting us know that he is not really a man in charge under the scene. Under the surface, he's not really the one that's in charge. He is answering to a different power. Behind the surface, or I'm sorry, suitcase position. Sorry, guys. I caught my son's cold, so He had an abscess in his tooth, and then he caught this cold from everybody at band, and now he gave it to me. What a delight. What a wonderful child. Love him. Gives me lots of stuff. So he should return to the way that government has been governing. He would learn a lot from dipping back into the history book instead of choosing to choose his own adventure. So it really, taking a step back and just saying, okay, I need to get back to basics and find out what the basic needs are. So, when it snows here, everybody, in the United States, like, oh, milk, bread, and eggs. Everybody get milk, bread, and eggs. Everybody's going to make French toast. So, it really is important for him to kind of forget about everything that he has learned and studied and get back to the things that worked. Again, I'm going to reference Trump with this whole return to the Gilded Age economy. I think is very interesting. That's a period of history that I studied a great deal when I was at university. Those were the literatures, the turn of the century, the Russian Revolution. Those were all of the literatures that I studied because I just found that they were so impactful and they were so emotional. Turgenev's Fathers and Sons is one of the best books that I've ever read in my whole life. And it's about a father and son who both have their feet set in different perspectives during the revolution in Russia. Very, very interesting book. Very good book for families to read together. So up top, energy up top, the Hanged Man. Oh my. So yeah, looks like people are going to boot him right out of there. 3 of Swords to head toward a better future. So this is what I see. I think he's going to be found making decisions based on a collective, almost like a commission or a quorum of sorts, Greg. Quorum. He is consulting with individuals that have soft power behind the scenes. I really hope that we don't have double-decker buses in black showing up at our house, Greg. Yeah, I'm blowing up.
Double-decker buses?
Well, I'm reading about the British Prime Minister. So
would it be like little MGs or
little what?
Mini Coopers?
Oh, maybe Mini Coopers. You guys tell me, those of you that are in England, like I always say, like I'm worried about the blacked out sedans showing up at my house. What would show up if you got in trouble with your government? What would it be? What kind of cars would they be? They'd be those 3-wheelers like my cousin Stephen had in Surrey. Like my cousin Stephen had a 3-wheel car in Surrey. I tried to drive it when I was over there. I couldn't do it. No, I couldn't handle the right side drive. I like, you know how I have like no spatial recognition. Like I just couldn't do it. Foxy said it could be Shaq showing up at one's house in a great big Beamer.
I would love it, Shaq.
Shaq applause? Oh my God, arrest me now. So, all right, we're going to go back to the Rider-Waite, and I hope everybody's having fun. Foxy, are you wearing a costume today? All right, so 2,000 Invictus military veterans have left the organization because of Harry's involvement. Well, that fell out, so we're just going to put her right up there. Outer Limits said 20 squad cars for the most petty offenses and 5 to 6 day wait for a serious crime being committed. Plod is not very effective here. I mentioned jam sandwiches the other day. Jam sandwiches showing up at my house. I know in Scotland they had the cars and they called them jam sandwiches. So Foxy is wearing his own costume. Isn't it? I know you have a live today, Foxy. What time is your live? So, the problem with the devil, you're the devil in disguise. Oh, yes, you are. Sing it with me, guys. Devil in disguise. All right, so King of Pentacles. Hello, Grumpy. Are you? I hope you're burning in the sun there, getting rid of that cold you had.
Who gets a cold in the desert?
Fox, Grumpy Sapper did.
Yes, it is.
He got sick. So the problem is that he was the guy with the money, but for some reason there was something shady that happened with the money that affected the future of collaborations and killed the future. Yeah, I'm. You don't have to make it up, guys. Like, this is what happens. So, dominant energy, high priestess, serving one's high priestess. They don't think that Harry is ever going to see his folly by having Little Miss Fashion Show. Somebody got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Indeed, Elizabeth Higgins. So, what's going to happen? What's Invictus to do? I would love to see Mike Tyndall take that over. I would love to call him like the Duke of whatever. What is going to happen? So do we want to do a timeline? Invictus. So they need to reinvigorate the affection for it. By sneaky means. What sneaky means? Crafting a new future. Crafting. Eliminating. Oh, look at this, guys. Look at this. They don't need that. They don't need no stinking benefactor. We don't need no stinking benefactor. We're going to put that over to the side, and we're going to bring these guys up just so you can see the question at the same time. So what are we doing here? Bring the emotion back by exposing the shady dude. The future will be brighter. Sans princess, and once the infractions are addressed and brought to the surface, then they can partner with people and they can get rid of him. So I think there's going to be a drive to get him into a less prominent position, and then they are going to be able to partner with some other benefactors. So thank you for that comment. And I'm going to do Drusilla's question now. Will I find work soon? Go over here. Drusilla, thank you for your contribution. I am having a terrific month because of everyone here. I really appreciate it. Every video you watch, like, helps me out. I am actually doing very happily well on my YouTube channel now. And I ideally, this is to get me private readings, but it is doing nicely on its own. Not so nicely that I don't have to possibly look for another corporate job, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So 4 of Cups in reverse, 7 of Wands, 3 of Swords in the back position. That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about that. 8 of Pentacles. We're still going very slow. 7 of Cups. So in the immediate future, we are going to, so let's start here. We're going to start with this undercurrent, which is the Four of Swords. There's something that you're doing that is not aggressive enough to secure a position. So is that working with a headhunter, changing your search engine, maybe going onto another platform? So like say if you're on Indeed, you switch over to one of the other ones, or you just, focus more on like LinkedIn and your connections with people. There's something that needs to be changed about the way you're looking. And it is, I believe, personal connections that are going to serve you well here. This is one of the things that I hate about Indeed and those programs. We've got the High Priestess here. I don't want to take your question down, so I want everybody to be able to see it. Let me see if we can do this. No, that doesn't help. That didn't help at all. So using your instincts when you're looking for a job, like a lot of people will, it's so overwhelming when you go on some of these platforms that it's really easy to just be like, I'll just apply to this one. It seems like a good job. Seems like a good fit for me. There's something about that. You need to be more strategic about the way that you're looking, but you also need to tap into the personal and professional resources that you have and see if those people can help you out. Also, look for positions that are not quite the position that you're in, that you're looking for. Look for the support positions for that, because there's something about transitioning into something else that will bring your future to you. But it is somewhat of a transition into a different capacity. So for me, like for my last corporate job, I went in there as a producer, as a frontline sales, inside sales. That was what I did. And when I got there, I realized that I didn't want to do frontline sales, and I went into account management, which was a much better fit for me. It was much more rewarding for me to be able to continue to have an extended relationship with my clients. So, for your work, it's going to be something very similar. How you see yourself as ready to go, launching out of the cannon, but still trying to figure out what direction you want to go in. So Two of Wands, when I teach the twos, I teach it like we're building a house, and the Two of Wands is we're partnering up with the architect. We're figuring out where our future is going to go. So career counseling maybe is not a bad idea. The Ace of Swords, others see you as bringing something very interesting and dynamic to a role. So that's where you need to find that soft spot with some of the companies. I can bring this. You need to bring something a little bit different to the role. That would be in your resume or in your cover letter. Two of Cups, you're looking for the hope. Hi, Jody. You're looking, happy Halloween. We're looking for a role where we partner up with someone. And then up here, Justice in reverse. The Seven of Cups in the immediate future is having a lot of choices, being dazzled by choices. That's why going back to this and not just making decisions and applying for jobs based on intuition and like, hey, it looks good. You need to have a little bit more direction in there. You need to have someone else clear out the weeds for you. And that potentially is like a career counselor, something like that. And just get rid of that. Let's clean up this real estate. So, Yellow Brick Road, what are we looking for here? Judgment. We need another party to offer their opinion. Otherwise, we do get stuck into these old tropes. And that is going to bring, giving the power over to someone else, I think is a really great idea. That is where we're going to get much more success and move forward. It will give you that transformation that you need. So I think, yeah, and you know, when I say career counselor, I don't mean somebody that you sit down, you pay thousands of dollars for it. It could be as simple as, you know, we're really good friends. Like one of my best friends is an HR director. One of my other friends is a director of governance for, you know, a very large company. You know, there are people that you can tap into and say, hey, you know, what do you think of this? Like, where would you put me? Where would I be most valuable? And like a lot of people will be able to direct you that way. So you can tap into old colleagues, that kind of thing. So I hope that helped. Thank you for your contribution. And I'm going to bring up little Lisa. Little Lisa. Let me go back to. Yeah, Zephyr. I don't want to hear joy one more time. Somebody did a joy montage, which was hilarious. Oh, Sprout, thank you. I've got you for private readings for like, that's awesome. Thank you. I like that. I have plans for a long time. Yeah. Still have a few people that I read for way back in the day. Way back in the day. Still get readings. Wild stuff. Let me scroll down here. So will martial law be declared after the election? Another floppy shuffle. So martial law, just for everybody who's out of the United States, if they declare martial law, it's over the whole country. It's not like for the individual states, we can call in the National Guard, and that would kind of take care of things in the immediate location. But when it's martial law, that's the whole country. We all go into the military, basically takes over. Three of Swords. It's going to be a yes. So Six of Cups. Six of Cups. We get some reminiscence. And oh, the Lovers. That is the changing of the guard. And the Empress, Elizabeth Bathory. If you don't know about her, look her up. Empress in reverse. Oh, the Lovers again in reverse. So in this deck, we have two Lovers. We have Evita and Juan Perón, and Eva Carrere and Julia de Bisson. So this is the female Lovers. We actually have another one. I think we have male and male too. But for me, the Lovers are usually more business-based, more apparatus-based. So I think we do get that nostalgia, and then the male-female power says, nuh-uh, we're not doing this, we're not doing it, we're not doing it. The Empress really tries to kind of ruck things up. Elizabeth Bathory was a noblewoman who ran a school. And she would beat the girls at the school, and blood splashed on her face, and she realized or decided that she looked more beautiful after she rubbed the blood in. And so some of her students, she was well, you could see what she was bathing in. So yeah. So I do think that there will be some filling of a bathtub. Let's do that. So the Lovers in reverse, the female Lovers in reverse, I think we go into a denial of the female that's running. And then Knight of Swords. Yeah, we're gonna I think we're going to see a lot of unrest. I think we may see that the martial law. We may see it, guys. How does it wrap up at this point? Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings. The Hierophant, powers is regained, and then the Tower, which is H.H. Holmes, America's first serial killer. So yeah, I think there's going to be a little Turquemada boot to the neck. I think we're gonna try and tamp it down.
Hey,
But
Tamara, what do you think?
hey, Turquemada, what do you say?
Hey, how are we doing in the comments today? Not a one. Nay, nay, nay.
Nay, nay, nay. So I do think that this I think we're gonna see some action here, guys. Yeah, get your boot off my neck. But curiously, we get that Tower card, which is disruption from without. So if they're clamping down with martial law, I do think that some action happens. I think people are going to have some things to say about it. So you know what, wifey, I will answer that if it happens, how long it's going to last. Oh, ghost story. Have I ever been frightened by a reading? Yes. Let's tell a little ghost story. We'll tell a little ghost story. So, way back in the day, and I think I've told this on the channel before. Greg, I don't know if you've heard this. So way back in the day, it was summer, I think after my senior year, and one of our friends had this super adorable 80s hot guy, had like long blonde hair, was like surfer dude, and he was up from Florida visiting. He was like the cousin or the family member of somebody, and I did a reading for him and was like twittering the whole time because he was really cute. And as I was doing the reading, like it was summer, so we were like in the ocean. I was surfing. We were in pools. We were all over the place. So as I was doing this reading for him, my ear kept popping, and I just thought I had water in my ear, and I just thought it was no big thing. So kept doing the reading for him, and it was really weird. It was like not really telling me anything. Like it was just kind of like meh. Nothing's really going on in the future. It was just kind of bland. I don't remember what the cards were. And I chalked it up to my ear was bothering me and that he was really, really cute. And I thought he was really cute. And I think his name was Jason. I think his real name was Jason. So finished doing the reading for him. And, tra-la-la, everything went on as summers do. And then I found out a few months later that when he went down to Florida, back to his house, he went and he stayed at his buddy's house. And his buddy owed some bad people some money. We were young, so, I don't know how old his friend was, but Jay was sleeping on the couch and they came in and he was muerto. So, but he was right behind the ear. This happened. So, very sad. He was very cute. And I was very upset by that. That kind of scared me because I was like, oh, that's what I was hearing. I was hearing the pop, 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 pop. So Greg, what is it when you hear a gunshot? It was in all the Trump videos. Initially, you hear the sound barrier, and then you hear the explosive.
That depends on the round.
Oh, okay.
Not every round is supersonic.
Not every round is supersonic.
Like a 9mm is a supersonic round, but a 40 caliber is a subsonic
Oh,
round.
okay. So there's only one crack you hear.
Well, it depends on the distance as well.
Okay, well, all right. The bullet is there before you hear the pop, Zephyr says. Thank you, Zephyr. Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes. So, unless you have an illegal silencer. Yes. Silencers aren't really silencers, though, are they?
No, they're sound suppressors. But
Suppressors.
they also reduce the range.
Okay, they reduce the range. All right. So if martial law is put in place, can a citizen come back into the country if they're traveling? Mom's leaving the day. So I don't think martial law is going to happen the day after election day. Hang on. Let's see. When is martial law going to go into play? I don't think it's until January. I don't think it's until the certification or the inauguration day. Is going to be after election day. Knight of Pentacles, Star. No, we're going to be just dealing. Oh, let me pull that up so you guys can see it a little bit better. We're just going to be dealing with a lot of people, bitching and complaining about what's going on. So that's step one. So January 6th is the certification. Is it January 6th? January 6th. Yes, January 6th. Remember what I said. The pages are, the job is yours. You're starting the job. We are going to prevent the job being started. So whatever side that may be. And over here, 3 of Pentacles, we're not letting the ideas go through so that Humanaki, I am garbage. I am garbage. So the 3 of Pentacles, we're not letting the team come together. We're not letting the transition happen. And the Page of Swords is, so, are we going to see like another January 6th? I think we are. Zephyr, they will see me coming because I'm a lousy shot. Tommy shoot like 5 or 6 times. Whoopsie! Can you move to the left? So this I think is where we see it. I think we get another January 6th. Hang on, let me roll the comments down. So what about on inauguration day? 9 of Cups. It's all going to be fine by inauguration day. Everything's going to be fine by inauguration day. We've got the 9 of Cups. Whoop. Let me get those. 9 of Cups, 3 of Wands, Temperance card. Everything's going to be fine by then. So, Jody, I'm going to come visit you. I'm going to come hang out with you. Get some maple candy. I want maple candy. 65% of the poll is not wearing costumes. I walked into the kitchen and my daughter was decked out. I was like, oh, good for you. Ready to go. Bright and early in the morning. Totally costumed up. So, So let me go back. I'm going to see what other comments. So we're going to drop that. And then, oh, that's fantastic. Yes, work with that caseworker. Keep going. Keep working. All right. Did I answer that? I don't think I answered that. Did I say that? So can we get back into the country if there's martial law going on? Are they going to allow that? Is that going to be allowed? I don't know. I think they might close. It feels very much like if the border is closed, it's very quick. We get that 4 of Wands there. 4 of Wands is we're just going to keep things kind of cool for now. But poor Nicholas II. Look at that beautiful family there. That was a shame. So, I think maybe the door will be closed for a little bit, but I think between Election Day and Thanksgiving we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I don't think that martial law comes for a little bit. So question answer. Let me get back over here. Dun, dun, dun. Everybody's talking about their aim. Imanaki, you killing. Are you bad, lady? I could have done blood and been like a victim. Do, 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 do. Wifey, yes, I will do this. I will do this. Let me switch up decks. Oh, Humanaki, I got your question. Hang on, hang on. Oh, I got an open invitation to Jody's. I'm coming. I'm getting in the car right now. I'm not really getting in the car. I'm taking a nap after this. So, knew some terms out after this term. So we'll see if he's going to be in politics soon. So, all right. So guys, I'm pulling cards, but I'm actually remote viewing at the same time. I'm not doing a CRV, which would involve a lot of reporting and whatnot. I'm just doing this psychically. So just bear with me. I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments as well. So wifey, the house at one point was white, but it wasn't always white. It was kind of like I don't want to say cedar shake, but it was kind of like a gray shake on the outside once upon a time. And that's where I'm going. When it had like this gray, it looked like shake, but it was like textured, like there were ribs in the shake on the sides of the house. And I think that was to direct the water down on the building. So like when it would rain, it would direct. So it was like that before there were like gutters. Before gutters were put on the house, it was just like kind of the roof was edged. So I'm just trying to tap into one of the spirits there. So there's definitely a woman. A woman with like a low bun. She does work a lot, and it's very hot work. So I can't tell if she's cooking for a lot of people or if she's boiling clothing or dyeing clothing. I can't tell if she's like working with materials and dyeing them. But I feel she's very much outside near a barn with not like a cauldron, but she's got like a big vat and a paddle, and there's clothing in it, and it is very hot. That's what's making her hot. The outdoors is hot as well because it's the hot days that they hang up. So I mean, it could be pelts, it could be leathers, could be tanning leathers, but it has to be hot outside because they hang them up over like a line, and that's how they dry in the sun. So I don't know if it's wool that's already like wool cloth that's already been like woven and they're dyeing it. I can't quite tell. So she's definitely outside. It's not indoors. It's outdoors. It's she's got this pot outdoors, and it is next to the barn. The house, if the barn is here, so here, the barn is here, and there's like a big yard here. She's like right here, and then the house is over here. That's where the house was, and it like they were kind of angled in. At least it feels like they were angled in. And there's like a track here for the wagon. So the wagons would, the wagon, when you would come home, you would come by here and maybe drop everybody off from like church or wherever they were going. And then they would go around here and park it in. There were ducks in the middle, or chickens. There was some kind of fowl in the middle at one point. um Historically they kept them there, and then there was some kind of building over here that was small, so I don't know if that was like the chicken coop, or and that they just let the chickens flock over there. But like this part was like a temporary, like I don't want to say temporary structure, but a structure that didn't stand the test of time. I think if you dug down, you would find more evidence of it, or if they tested the soil there, they would find like a lot of nutrients from the guano and whatnot there. So this woman, what does she want to tell us? What does she want to tell us? Oh, it's her house. It's her house. She doesn't mind if anyone else is there. So now we're in the kitchen and she's scrubbing the floor. And she loves the place. So, when you get these spirits that love the place that they're in, and my mom says this about her house up here in New Jersey. She's like, I'm haunting this house. My mother loves this house. It was, their house was built in 1890, I think. And they basically, restored it to its past glory. It wasn't run down when they got it, but my mom wants to stay in that house. This woman wants to stay in this house. Is her name Mary? I don't think that it is. I think it's Amelia or something like that. I think it's like Amelia or Emilia or Emily or something. So you could get that Mary out of it, but there's an M in it. There's absolutely an M in her name. But she, I think, had 3 children. I think they were all girls, but I don't think they all survived. I think that one of them died in infancy. There were 3 girls, which is like, that's the kiss of death from the gods. When you have a farm, you want boys, you don't want girl children because they get married off. So I do think that was a little bit of a disappointment. She really ran this operation. What did her husband do? I don't think this farm was her husband's. I think this was hers. So that's why I think that the 3 girls are even more of a kiss of death for her. That doesn't mean she didn't love her kids. So Margie, my cousins are from York, Pennsylvania. I didn't know you were from York, Pennsylvania. Mac Jones Ford. Margie, tell me if you know Mac Jones Ford. That's my Uncle Mac. Hi, Anneke. How are you? So I think that this land was hers, that she actually inherited. Now, that doesn't mean that she grew up on that property per se. I think it was a piece of property that was carved out for her. So, Anakin, I'm just doing a reading on wifey's childhood home, I guess, in Pennsylvania. And we're doing a little time travel remote view. So I think he was a bit of a disappointment. I think the husband is a bit of a disappointment. He was from another farming family, and he's got like an F in his name, and they're more Dutch than she was. Like, trying to say this. They're almost, I don't want to say Dutch. I'm going to change that. They're like more Norwegian, kind of Nordic. Nordic. I don't think that her in-laws spoke English. I think they were like Norwegian, Finnish, something like that, and they did not they did not. Margie, my uncle closed his dealerships down years ago. Most of the family still lives there. So very cool people. Very cool people. This Emily or Amelia was like that Pennsylvania Dutch, that that legendary like Pennsylvania Dutch. But the in-laws were a little bit different. The son didn't really work. He wasn't the pick of the litter. Let's put it that way. He seemed like he might be. And Emily kind of lowered her standard for him. He was not as attractive as she wanted her spouse to be. The girls were beautiful. The girls were absolutely adorable, good, sweet little girls, and they took after their mother. But the father seems like he was just kind of not really engaged. I don't know if he was gone. No, he was a poor choice. He was a poor choice. And he was not one that advanced that parcel of her family's legacy. So it was a disappointment. But by the time Emily, I'm going to call her Emily, by the time Emily realized it, like her father was gone, and really they were kind of, it was kind of done. It was just, she was just going to run things the best she could. So there was definitely something going on with the cows that she had. She was, commercially selling the milk and cheese. Oh, thank you, Zephyr. Yeah, Pennsylvania Dutch is in German. It's a weird language. It's almost a patois. I want to say it's a patois, but I don't think technically it is a patois. So the cows that were on the property were used for the farm and also used commercially. She had people that she hired in from other farms to harvest the livestock that they had. So that was kind of a burden for her. And there was a few young people that would do her a solid and come over and just take care of it, because she wasn't a widow, but they considered her a widow. They just felt like she was not supported. So her husband, it's almost like her husband was like a Rip Van Winkle, like he was out in the whatever, like sleeping away in the fields or something. Like he wasn't where he was supposed to be. Let's just put it that way. There's something about like an Ichabod Crane thing. Like there was like apple pies. Like if somebody had an apple pie, like he went bananas and was like going to eat the whole apple pie. So Emily Mary, whatever we're going to call her, Amelia Emily Mary. She's definitely in the house. Now that little girl, let's see who that little girl is. The little girl is the one that didn't survive. That's the one that and that was a heartbreak. There's something about water and rock. So I don't know if she like fell, I hate to say like fell in a well, or fell in a river or something like that. And hi Jess, how are you, baby doll? There's something about water and rocks and like hitting the head. Like there's definitely a hitting of the head. And just, that was a loss. So, but that little one is not actually an active haunting. She is, she's already, so, just for ghost stories purposes. So what happens, you get a couple of different kinds of hauntings. So we can get what's basically just a recording of an event. that happens over and over again, if there's a lot of emotion that's in that event, if it's a moment in time, that snapshot just on the vibrational level that you're on, and we can see that happening over and over again. That's like your the white ladies that everybody sees walking across the bridge, those kinds of sightings are sometimes recorded versions. We can't really communicate with the spirits, but this Emily, I think, is someone that we can communicate with. I think we can ask her questions. I think she has some agency over what she does and where she shows. Thank you, Sally. Residual haunting. That is a residual haunting. This child, I believe, is a residual haunting. I think this is one that we just kind of see the snapshot of that child. Now, I thought that she didn't make it past infancy, but I think she was just really young and immature. So that I don't think, a lot of the kids they go right over. They don't stick around. They're not so vested in this lifetime. They want to stick around. They just kind of skip over. So that is what it is. So all right, I'm going to just scroll up because I did see, where did it go? Etiquette. So for today, since first day, I'll do a reading for you. Typically I have super chats for personal readings. But we'll do it since it's your first day. So, wifey, thank you. It was a great little dip into the history of that house. You know what? If you know that area, do a Google search of the property and get like that high level view, like the aerial satellite view. And see if you can see that little spot, like that where that wagon trail went, and then there was like a little spot in the middle where like all the chickens or ducks would go. But there should be, you should see like kind of a chicken coopy kind of thing. It will be long and skinny. So, Aniket, let's go. A little general reading for Aniket. Hierophant in reverse. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Crossing a King of Cups on the bottom. Page of Cups in the suitcase position. I will get there. Lovers up top. And Knight of Pentacles both in reverse. So, you are flying in the face of all convention. You are really trying to break the wheel like Daenerys Targaryen. So, this is when I get the Hierophant. The Hierophant for me is always the powers that be, the seats of power. So if we're talking about politics, it would be Parliament, the Kremlin, Washington, D.C., those kinds of things, White House. If we're talking about family matters, it would be the patriarch, matriarch, anyone who was basically in charge of the family. We would have those kinds of people in positions of power. But for you, with the Lovers up top, we are looking at breaking up a relationship, working relationship together because of your lack of faith in the powers that be. The skepticism that you had in the past should be re-examined, because when we first meet people and we partner up with them, everybody's like, okay, things are great. But sometimes as you get deeper and deeper into that relationship, into that working relationship, you realize that like maybe your business partner doesn't like to get up at 7:00 in the morning and bake bread, and you own a bakery. Like that is not going to work. So, honestly, you have to look back at the red flags or skepticism that you saw early on in the relationship and apply that to now, and apply that to the yield that you have seen. Now, I talk about personal in interpersonal relationships. Humanaki, I see your question. I got it there, Booby. So when we talk about interpersonal relationships, I always say there has to be like a return on investment. And it sounds really crappy for me to say that, because it sounds like, oh, you should be really sketchy and try and suck something out of another person. That's not necessarily true. But the return on investment when you are good friends with a friend is they will do you in kind. So, my friend Kathy, the other day needed to go to the dentist. I took her to the dentist. They were going to drug her. The loudest librarian. They did have to clean her mouth because it was so dirty. Aniket, I have a lot of girlfriends that I have known since kindergarten. I've known my husband since his mother was pregnant with him. And I'm very fortunate. I have a really cool tribe of ladies around me. Kathy is the world's loudest librarian. She is a librarian. She's hilarious. This would be why am I talking about that? I don't know why I'm talking about that. So I'm trying to follow the chat at the same time. But anyway, so I digress. Your intentions in the relationship were very good, and your motivations were pure. So having that I was talking about return on investment in friendship. So when you get a return on investment, that means that one day Kathy is going to drive me home when I am not able to drive home from the dentist or from wherever, the podiatrist, wherever it is. Kathy will one day do that solid back for me. That kind of return on investment. So not the kind of friendships or partnerships where you are constantly making somebody a cup of coffee and they never, ever, ever give you breakfast in bed. They never give you a cup of coffee. So, you have to look at the return on investment here. Are you doing all the heavy lifting in the relationship? Because that means that you're only getting half the yield out of the relationship that you should have. Nobody wants half. Everybody wants full. So if we're getting half of the yield that this partnership should have produced, then you're only getting a quarter of what you could be getting, if that makes sense. So I think we need to revisit the relationship. And I don't know if if you're, what this relationship is. You don't have to put it in the comments, but if you do, let us know. But I feel like you're getting kind of the short end of the stick. You're doing a lot of heavy lifting and getting the short end of the stick on this. So there it is. Let me go. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope to see you back. It's super fun over here. You see the chat goes bananas. Everybody has a great time in it. Humanaki. I love the Anunnaki. Today might be an Anunnaki day for me. I don't know. I may start talking about the Anunnaki. So, So everybody's talking about the farmers markets out in Pennsylvania, Dutch country. Our friends Deanna and her husband go out there to get bacon. They go out with a cooler and they just buy all this bacon and ice cream. And we get a phone call usually. We got bacon. Very exciting. It's the best bacon. So, all right. News has the woman was arrested as an any truth to this story? Do we have? I think there's a lot more events that are happening behind the scenes, and we'll find out much later. So, was there an event? Four of Wands, guard was down, the doors were left unlocked. What happened? Let's make a story. Knight of Wands, we were getting cocky, we're doing our thing, and someone on the inside, some partner on the inside, was not true. Queen of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. This was someone with clearance. It was somebody with clearance, somebody who was on the inner circle. Ooh. So I am absolutely going to say yes, that there was an attempt. I don't know if we're going to hear about this. Are we going to hear about this? Let's move it over here. 5 of Cups. Queen of Wands. You know, it feels very hokey. It feels like very Austin Powers. Oh, wifey, I know that ice cream shop that was a windmill. I absolutely know that. We would stop at that like infrequently when we went out to my cousins. Like we'd go by and like stare out the window at it. So it feels like she had like an itty bitty pew pew, like it was like this like cigarette lighter kind of thing. But that's not what was in it. It wasn't pew pew. It was like darts. There were darts in there. Some kind of substance. What's that?
You're crazy.
Yes.
You're crazy.
Three's too many. You're crazy, man. Yes, Zephyr, like something like that, but that's not what it was. It was something else. Yes, here's poison. Puppies will make her sleep. So yes, some kind of poison was in there. Yeah, I think that it was much craftier, but so they're not going to do any kind of substances in his food. They can't do that because they really are quite careful about that. They know that is and they're you know, if they were going to try that, and there's been discussions about it. I'm just going to end our poll too, guys, because the poll is just 63% of us are not wearing costumes. I'm wearing a costume. Foxy, go get ready for your live. Everybody, Foxy's going to have a live shortly. Foxy 313. We can all go over there. I'm going to go over there. So I'm going to be wrapping this up in a few minutes. This will be my last question, I think. So they have to get this into him. So, you know, there's something very interesting about having a frozen substance that's like little darts and it shoots out and goes into the skin. It's so thin, it just kind of goes in and then melts into the system. There's something about that. So I think that's kind of what they were doing. So that was the intent. Foxy, if you're talking about us, the YouTube crawl, we're not doing it. We had to reschedule it. We weren't ready. But I don't know who's going live. So if someone else is going live, tell me. I'm not ready. We're not ready. So, Foxy, my dear. Yeah, Humanaki. No, I don't think we're going to hear about these frozen poison darts. I don't think we'll hear about it. So, I think that'll be top secret. I've been saying all along that I think that there's a lot more attempts and things going on. Like I almost see, I'm going to pull down my card view, guys, because I think I'm going to wrap it up. So I almost see like Trump walking down the hallway and it's like Indiana Jones, like there's a boulder that flies by and then there's an axe that's swinging and he's just kind of ducking and diving under all of these things. They really are trying to prevent that future from happening. So it's kind of wild. So this was fun though. I'm just gonna check here. Oh wait, Humanaki, I'm sorry. I just realized I have more questions. Let me bring it up the card view again. All right, so sorry about that, sweetie pie. So, and I've got your other question too. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. Everybody stay put. I could save this costume, Zephyr. Probably need a few days. So, wow, we had 314 views on this according to my screen. Awesome. And it's my understanding that Tammy, drop your question again. So I don't know if I started. So just drop your question again in all caps and I will read it. Thanks, Jody. Thanks. I did that crazy remote view. I was on a farm in Pennsylvania, not looking at the chat. So is he going to stay in politics? Is he going to continue to be in politics? Judgment, that's a maybe. That's a hard maybe. High Priestess, not a lot of people like him. The Fool's still recklessly going to do it. I got 2 cards here. 4 of Swords, 10 of Cups. This is funny because it's almost like his ego is going to take over. And he will assume that he's going to get in by surreptitious means. And 3 of Cups, he'll get by with a little help from his friends. Yes, Joe Cocker. So we're going to pull up Humanaki's second question. Somebody said he'd run in 2032 for president. Oh, he's so unlikable, though. Yeah, Auntie Pelosi. Well, she's going to be outski pretty soon. So she can't go on. I know she's preserved in alcohol. But I'm on my way to a hot toddy after this. So will he run? Yes. He is going to run just like JFK, Obama. He's going to bring that beat back. He's going to bring this back. Ace of Swords, new beginning. It's going to be to counter what's going on. Knight of Swords. He's going to have a lot to say. I still think he's going to get a TV show for a little bit. He's going to have a news show. And so people are going to get used to seeing him nationally every single day. That's going to be the plan for now. This is my Gavin Newsom prediction. He's going to be on some kind of national show, whether it's a YouTube channel or on one of the networks, and we're going to see him every single day. Everybody's going to hear him every single day. And the hope is that we're going to get used to him being out there, and we're going to start to like him because he's just there all the time. It's like that stray cat in your backyard. You're just going to get used to them, Greg.
Give you a magical cabinet?
The magical kittens. So yeah, that was how we the ferals were not on our property until the litter was born, and they're like teenagers now. When were they born, Greg? 2 years ago?
Yeah.
It was like 2 years ago. So Greg and I took the ride-on mower out of the shelter, and he was working on it, and he went to start it up, and I was out there with him, and something gray shot out of it from under.
Weren't on.
What? No, the blades weren't on.
Good thing they weren't.
We just turned the engine on, and something gray shot out, and I went, "Oh, Greg, a bunny! Oh my god!" And it ran into the shed. And then I saw another one, and it was calico. And I go, oh, they're kittens. I go, they're magical kittens. And Greg goes, they're not magical. So then they all ran out one at a time. So there's the gray one who is here. I think he's fathering a lot of kittens right now. The calico one is very, very pretty. Her mom is actually a dilute calico, and which is like kind of a shade of calico. So yeah, pretty wild. And then we have a tortie out there, a tortoiseshell. Her name's Cutie Patootie. There's one name, there's a new kitten named Bourbon, and Basil, and Edward, and isn't there one they just call Mama? So I can show you guys. I actually can show you. Here, I'll show you some pictures of kittens. So wait, I'm still waiting for Tammy. Pop your question up again, please. I'm sorry, I can't scroll back for it. Too many comments. So I'll be looking at pictures of kittens. I'll show you guys some cute kittens. They're like teenagers though. They're not actually kittens anymore. Oh, here they are. So that is Cutie Patootie. She's sleeping on our front porch. And that's my son stuck in the mud like a dummy. That is Edward on my porch. He is adorable.
Yeah, I see those feral cats more than I see our own cat.
That's Basil. And that's Cutie Patootie. Edward with a little treat between his feet. And that one, I think her name is Whiskey. Or Bourbon. I think she's Bourbon. And that's the mama. She's a dilute calico. And there's the kittens. And Edward. Just laying. That's our neighbor's house there. So those are our magical kittens. So there, what's I love when they tuck too. It's so cute. It's so cute. So oh man, I guess I'm missing Tammy's question. I'm scrolling back to see if I see any. Ah, here we go. Tammy, I gotcha. Okay, well okay, Tammy, I gotcha. I hope you're still here, sweetie. I'm gonna do choose your own adventure tarot too. Thanks, Jody. Thank you. Long COVID. Every 4 months. Okay, well, they figure out how to treat you. So not for a bit, hon. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm giving you that. I know this sucks. It's going to take some time and funding for them to figure this out because they can't quite figure out where the effects are coming from. I know that sounds terrible because it's coming from COVID, but it's going to take them a little bit more time. There's something also about the way that the effects compound over time. So the troubles that you're having now change into something different. And so they're having trouble pacing with the changes that's happening. So will we get resolution in the future? The star card does indicate that we will get resolution in the future. How far? Not a lot of patience. You're going to run out of patience. Knight of Cups. Top. So there is going to be one particular doctor. This is going to be like the Elon Musk of long COVID study. And I don't think he's necessarily with the study that you're with. I think this is going to be a much broader perspective of study. I think this is going to be someone who is extremely intelligent, looking at data and looking at information. He is going to come out. I keep getting like 2023. I know that's behind us. So it may be that he's already kind of set the ball rolling, that he thinks it's something else. I'm trying to get a name. First name Mark. And I feel like there's an ADD in his name, like Addison, Adderun, not Adderall, but ADD, Addison, Addison. But I definitely, I think I've got a first name of Mark, not Samsonite. So this guy is thinking beyond the box. Thinking outside of the box. It's not the kind of he's not he is not adhering to the medical community line. Let's put it that way. So this isn't going to be a voice that's going to be on the news, that kind of thing. He's going to have a lot of detractors. But the evidence that he's going to come up with and the process of correction that he's going to come up with, it's going to be a treatment program. They're never going to be able to undo what it is, but it's going to be a treatment program that does give people a better quality of life moving forward. So, you know what's wild? Had I done this reading 3 years ago, 2 years ago, like this, we would have been shut down by now. The sound would have gone off. You guys wouldn't be able to hear any of this. So, I do think that this guy is an American, but possibly not American born. How's that? And I don't think he's going to get a lot of cooperation from others. And that's why we're not hearing more about what he's doing, the research that he's doing, or the conclusions that he's coming up with. And I just said that, and I think my feed stopped. Did my feed stop? No, my feed didn't stop. So, you know, I do think help is on the way. But I don't know if we're going to hear too much about it. What is 2025 for you like? Let's do that. Four of Swords, Knight of Cups. Yeah, we're still not getting super good resolution on 26. I think we're still with oxygen. 2026. I'm sorry, honey. I'm not. Three of Cups. 2026 is when things will start to change. More toward the end of 2026. We start to get more potions involved here, which is medicines, that kind of thing. We get kind of disgusted with the potions and medicines, but the end of 2026, we start to see some more potions, more magical things come in. And then that is life-changing. That is something that's going to be different. 27, return to health. Yes, look at this. 6 of Cups, Temperance, 4 of Wands, 6 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles. We get out of the weeds 2027. So I know it's a little bit of a wait, but we got to wait a little bit longer. All right. So Tammy, my best wishes for good health for you. So I am going to pull up Humanaki's request to do it. One card. How many protection angels surround my family? Do we really want to do a card for this? Doing a card. I don't know if Tammy is still here. I hope she is. How many angels surround your family? What kind of angels surround your family? So we've got High Priestess there. That's the woman in charge. So we got one woman in charge. Star in reverse. They don't make themselves shown very much. because they do want you all to make your own decisions. They're very big on the free will. They're there to guide and support, but they're not there to help you change your mind. So they're not trying to influence you, if that makes sense. They're protecting you from, cataclysmic full impact, but they're there to just kind of help out. Empress, very feminine energy, very, very feminine energy, that tries to give that whole perspective of dominance. So, I'm saying it's a hermaphroditic energy, but leaning feminine on this one. So, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Free will, the bane of my existence as well. Everyone, who loves free will? So yeah, I think there's dominantly feminine energy around you. This one particular guide who surrounds the whole family was very, very intense and powerful. And there was something to say, like the Fool in tarot is a male leaning energy shooting out of a cannon. And then the world depicts that Fool as a hermaphrodite, transformed. So, there are some beliefs that we are a hermaphroditic energy that manifests as male, female, otherwise defined, once we are released into the immortal coil. So, when we come into it. I got to tell you guys, I'm starting to sweat in this thing. Yay! Sweating. My phone's ringing. Let me shut that off. So, I don't think any of my children are home. So, did Trump really not know the comedian and what he was going to say? Yeah, I didn't like that. He was like, yeah, I didn't know this guy. Like, you got to know who you invite into your house. I do understand that there was an intended set that was presented and they told him to change it. I don't know if he stuck with the same one. So did Trump really know this dude? Past, present, future? In the past, he did not know. It was a recommendation. So again, this is my own psychic ability. In the past, he didn't know who the guy was. In the moment, I think he watched a little bit of what he did. Hi, Jennifer. Happy Halloween. I am garbage. Hot garbage. I should do like a whole series on here, like garbage readings. I'll just come on in my garbage clothes. So he watched a few of his things, but I don't think that he really, really studied him. I think he just kind of was like, okay, he is pissed at what that guy did. So he's going to separate himself from that. So yeah, I think he expected him to say some other things. So there it is. Oh, there we go. Let's go back to the live chatter. Hide that. Auntie Pelosi, permanently pickled. All right, what time is it? It's 3:04. I think. What did Foxy say? 9 o'clock English time? They're 4 hours ahead of us until this weekend. I'm looking at your comments. I love an orange cat. I absolutely love an orange cat. I'm a big fan of the orange cat. So what crash happened? Something crazy crashed over DC. Was it the UFO? But the Pentagon said there was no UFO. Somebody down at the Trump rally right now? Yes, agree. We are on the same page there. Who? Ba, 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 ba. Oh, Jody, that's awesome. Did I tell you that was going to happen? Did I say she was going to give up? I think I did. I don't know. One of my friends is evicting a tenant right now, and it's a freaking nightmare. Humanaki, awesome. Yes. Very fierce, very powerful, very big spirit guide for your family. Huge. So let's see. There's a lot of garbage people here. I have no problem calling myself a garbage person. I'm a garbage person. Oh, so we're all garbage. Everybody's garbage. So Greg and I say all the time, that is not my garbage. So we have neighbors that, where are they from? Albania? So like this whole like extended Albanian family moved into the neighborhood right across the street. And when they first moved in, we had a big windstorm and their garbage got blown down the hill into our yard with the garbage can. And Greg very nicely cleaned up the garbage and all the packing materials and whatnot and brought it up to the house and was like, hey, your garbage blew down here. Referred to him by name because it was on the labels. He goes, your garbage blew down. And the guy looked at it and said, that is not my garbage. And Greg was like, but it has your name on it and your address. And no, it's not my garbage. And so Greg did not know what to do. He just kind of stood there and then just gently put the garbage can down at the end of the driveway because he didn't know what to do. He didn't want to come home with the garbage, and it was their garbage can. So yeah, so garbage stories. So all right, I'm going to tell you a ghost story. I'm going to finish up with a ghost story. Oh my God, Lisa, a psychic told me that your spirit guide was ugly. That's terrible. That's like the best way to like have them not be cool. So wait, I just saw you have seen an angel. It was very huge and impressive. I'm concerned about seeing angels. I kind of want to see angels because
6 wings with like the eyeball.
You know, with the eyeball in the middle and like all these legs and what. So yeah, like angels. Like I'm a little bit scared. So I did see a spirit guide, which was really wild. This isn't the ghost story I was going to tell, but I saw a spirit guide when I was meditating, and I thought I was looking at myself in a mirror, and let me pull the cards down. I was kind of looking at myself in a mirror, and then I like pulled back, and I never went through like a weird Native American phase with my spiritual stuff. Americans, like all spiritual Americans, like go through like a Native American phase, and like I feel it's such a disservice because it's such a rich culture and it's a diverse culture. I can still answer questions. I'm not going anywhere. So outer limits, stick around. Just giving your eyes a rest so you're not looking at the card view. So I as I pulled back, like it was my eyes, but it was a male and it was a Native American. I don't know what or who or how. And one of my students did a little bit of a reading on that. Tammy, don't cry. Don't cry. They're going to figure it out. I didn't want you to cry. Oh man. Everybody give Tammy a hug. We got to give her hugs. Let me do some hugs in the comment. Tammy, send me an email. FortuneCookiesTarot@gmail.com. Send me an email. And we'll take this offline. Not today, but we will take this offline. And I will give you a little bit of a leg up. So email me, sweetie pie, email me. We can talk about some of the different energies and things that you can do. So yes, I pulled back and it was this Native American. I was like, oh, look at you. And I like took off on a horse and seemed to be like pretty powerful entity. So Tammy, definitely email me because I want to talk to you about Dr. Joe Dispenza and a couple other things, and we'll do a reading quietly. You and I will sit down. We'll have a little something. Back to ghost stories. I'm gonna tell a ghost story. Yeah, my spirit guide did not fall off the horse. But it was wild because like I'm like, oh, Native American stuff, like I'm not really into that. So ghost story. I am going to conceal the names and the location to protect certain people that don't want me to tell the story. So once upon a time I was in a house and I had a dog with me. It was my dog Toto. And I heard just moved into this house and I heard this horrible noise that sounded like someone was breaking into the house. And so in a panic, I grabbed my little dog. His name was Toto. He was a little Cairn Terrier. He's so cute. Scooped him up under my arm and I ran down and I woke up an individual. And I said, I think somebody's breaking in the house. And this individual said to me, you're out of your mind. No one's breaking into the house. No one's breaking in. So I said, I think somebody's breaking in the house. So I said, come on. I hear a lot of noise. So we go down the hallway to the top of the stairs. And there were no carpets. And there was a wood floor and then a tile floor and then wood stairs going all the way up. And so we're standing at the top of the stairs quietly. There's no noise. Of course, you know, the house is making a liar out of me. And said individual turns to me and goes, this is nuts. I'm going back to bed. And with that, we hear bang, bang, bang. We hear a door open. And we hear hard-soled shoe footsteps across the floor. Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop. All of a sudden they changed when they got to the tile. Clip, clip, clip. And then they came up the stairs. Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, clip. Right past us onto the carpet. And so at that point, the person that was with me grabbed onto my arm. Neither of us were breathing at this point. And we ran down the hall to tell another person that there was something weird going on. And person number one said, person number two, I think somebody broke in the house. And we all looked up at the alarm system, and the alarm system, every light was flashing on the alarm system, which was not what it should have done. Like the whole panel was activated and lit up. The alarm should have gone off when that door opened downstairs. So person number two picked up the phone and looked at both of us and said, the phone is dead, and hung the phone up. And then picked the phone up again, and the phone was working, and called the police. The police department showed up, and it was quite the spectacle of response to this phone call. It was like the scene in the end of was it The Money Pit? There's all cars all over the place, and so the police walked in the back door. And they set off one of the laser beams, and they basically pointed a finger at the youngest individual in the room and said, are you sure you didn't try and sneak out or something? And I was like, good Lord, no. I almost peed myself. I was so scared. But they basically determined that somehow the door had been ripped open. So same location, human number 3 was another individual that lived in that house. They were in their bathroom in the middle of the night, and they were looking down into the driveway, and they saw this woman in a red sweater coming up back stairway, which was like back up the property, and she had brown fluffy hair, and so human number 3, adult number 3, went downstairs because they thought it was the housekeeper, and opened up, turned the alarm off, opened up the back door, and stood there for a good 10 minutes with nobody showing up. And then was like, oh, okay, well, I guess nobody's coming up. I guess it wasn't the housekeeper in the middle of the night for some odd reason. And in the morning, she said, now that I realize that there was kind of like floating along. So, so that was another incident at the same location. So some interesting things. At that location, I used to have my makeup would get stolen, my hair products would get stolen, my blow dryer would go missing, my brushes would go missing. I actually had a Mason Pierce brush go missing in that house, which I still am mad about because those brushes are like $400. I have a little one, but the big one has gone missing. But so do people get what? What's going on? What did I miss? Oh, the angel thing. Yes, I think we do too. When you reach a certain level. I'm teaching a class tomorrow and doing a party, and that's one of the things that I talk about in the little handout book that I give them. The more you start to tap into these things, the more you become sensitive to stuff. But it's always important to like keep a really firm grip on that and make sure that you're not conversing or welcoming in some creepy things. So 3 hours, guys. We did a 3-hour live. You were all here with me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I am going to pop over and go see who else is live today because it is Halloween and it's a fun day. But thank you so much for being here, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. This was super fun. I have a terrible cold, and I'm gonna take off my hot garbage outfit. I don't know if trick-or-treaters are even coming to our house this year. Like sometimes we don't get them. Oh my God, your bed used to shake, little Lisa. Good Lord, scary stuff. I just want to watch spooky movies all night and curl up on the couch. That's pretty much what I want to do. So, and order a pizza. That's all I want to do tonight. So, thank you everyone for being here. And I'll keep you posted on when we're going to do the murder mystery. We're going to do it. We want it to be really good for you guys. We don't want it to be, corny or not fun. We want it to be really good. And we don't want it to be easy. We want you guys to like actually have to guess at what's going on. I'm going to take this off. It's crazy. Garbage hair. This was a fun day, guys. So and I have all this crazy makeup on. Happy Halloween. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. I will see you all in the future.